to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever.
Words is powerful, you know? The ability to articulate, you know, you can really impact people.
The biggest mistake any nigga ever make is getting too comfortable, kicking their feet up, taking that motherfucking victory lap. Cause you ain't never safe. Somebody always out there, watching. And by the time you see him, it's already too late.
For me, as Kanye West, I gotta fuck shit up.
The consistency of work. If I could work that hard every day, what would my career be? Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, you know, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you can get to where you want to go. This year, I'm going to get better at that. Next year, this, and then so forth and so on. And then patiently, I was able to catch them. Well, man, because I think the greatest fear that we face is ourselves, actually. It's not anything that's external or anything that's superficial. I think the greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have. And it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
There's two types of players, players who love to win and players who hate to lose. Which one are you?
I'm neither, meaning that, I play to figure things out. I play to learn something, right? Because I think if you play with a fear of failure, or you play with the will to win, or that supersedes the fear of failure, I think it's a weakness either way, right? Because if you play with the fear of failing, you'll have the pressure on yourself to play, to capitulate to that fear. If you play with the sense of I want to win, then you have the fear of what happens if you don't. But if you find common ground in the middle, in the center, then it doesn't matter. You're unfazed by either, right? And that enables you to really just stay in the moment, stay connected to it, and not feel anything other than what's in front of you. So I try to just be dead center.
How did you become one of those people who doesn't seem to be afraid of failing?
Failures, it doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm going to learn something from that failure, and I'm going to try again on Tuesday. And I fail, and I'm going to try again on Wednesday. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, and do that for 20 years, what do you have?
How did you get that mentality of just being like, I need to get over this, like I need to get over myself?
Trial and error. You grow up and you make game-winning shots and it's awesome. You come back the next day and miss a game-winning shot and it's misery. And then the next day comes and you're back playing again, and you understand that life has this cyclical nature where it's, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday. Yeah. So are we just supposed to live our lives like this the whole time? Versus just staying like this and understanding that it's really just a journey of evolution every day. It's just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I love the game. I love it, right? I didn't want to be away from it. I wanted to play all the time.
I heard Shaq actually say, even at 18, you wanted to be the best. You found that passion early.
My name is Bryant. I'm 17 years old. I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
When I was 18, 20, 21 years old, I wanted to play basketball. I was consumed with this quest of trying to be the best. You know, I had parents come up to me on the street, or when I'm at the sports academy, saying, okay, how can I get my kid to work hard? What do I need to tell? Can you talk to my kid? And I say, listen, it's not something that you can talk through. It's a behavioral thing. You have to get up every day and do the work, right? Consistently do the work. My kids, volleyball, basketball, schoolwork, they work every day. And that's how you instill it in them, where it becomes a behavioral thing. And it doesn't matter what they decide to do. Like if Gianna decides to not play basketball when she grows up, that's fine. But she understands the discipline that it takes to work at something every single day. So whether she wants to be a writer, a director, a doctor, a lawyer, she'll have those characteristics.
To me, the mentality is a really, for players that come after me is to understand that these things are possible, like you don't want to ever limit your imagination or limit what's possible, because people may think you're crazy, right? But if us as athletes don't think that it's possible to do these things, how in the world can we inspire people?
Have you ever questioned your ability?
No, not from a physical standpoint. From a physical standpoint, I felt like I could always do what I wanted to do. Mentally, I've questioned it in terms of how am I going to get these guys on the same page? How am I going to lead these guys and make sure we get to that next level? That's always been the thing that I've questioned with myself, is can I motivate these guys and carry them?
Well, I mean, here's why practice was important to me. Not from just the standpoint that I enjoyed playing. Like, I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed getting better. But as a leader of a team, it's also your responsibility to elevate the rest of the guys. And what people tend to get stuck on a lot is saying, okay, the way to make players better is to pass them the ball when they're open. That's a very trivial way to look at things. What you have to do is you have to get them emotionally to want to be better. You have to get them to an emotional space where they wake up every morning driven to be the best version of themselves, right? And how do you do that? And in practice, for me, it was a chance to drive them, to challenge them.
When I was playing, and teammates would say, "Oh, Kobe's not out on the road. What is he doing?" You see me on the plane, he's reading. What is he reading? He's writing. What is he writing? Mm-hmm. I'm practicing. Mm-hmm. I'm writing. I'm practicing. I'm understanding how to tell stories. I'm reading Joseph Campbell and how to create arcs, compelling arcs and plots. I'm reading that stuff. So this is going back 15 years, right? So I don't just retire, write Dear Basketball, and luck into winning an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That stuff comes from hard work and from studying for 15 years how to write and how to organize structure. Right? And you can't do that without having a serious love or commitment to the craft.
How have you been able to, in your life, see past the cloud of emotion? This challenge that young people have today, everyone has today, of just so much information, so much cloud of emotion, so many feelings, so much childhood baggage that you're bringing. Like, how have you always cut through that and execute on that?
What I try to do is just try to be still and understand that things come and go. Emotions come and go. The important thing is to accept them all, to embrace them all, and then you can choose to do with them what you want versus being controlled by emotion. A lot of times I've seen players, even myself, when I was younger, being consumed by a particular fear, and to the point where you're saying, okay, it's not good to feel fear. I shouldn't be nervous in a situation like that. And it does nothing but grow. Versus stepping back and saying, yeah, I am nervous about the situation. Yeah, I am fearful about the situation. Well, what am I afraid of? And then you kind of unpack it. And then it gives you the ability to look at it for really what it is, which is nothing more than your imagination running its course, It's not really a thing, Like you think about game-winning shots or game-winning free throws, and people go to the free throw line and they're nervous about it. Well, what are you really nervous about? If you unpack that, okay, you're nervous that you're going to miss the shot. All right, so you missed the shot, then what happens? People are going to be embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed because thousands of people, millions of people see you miss the shot. All right, and then what? People are going to talk bad about you. Okay, right? And so you're looking at it, you go, are those things even important? You know what I mean? If that is my fear, like what is, you worried about letting your teammates down? Okay, have you let them down before? Oh, I'm sure, in practice and things of that nature, right? They're still there.
It's how your career moves and touches those around you and how it carries forward to the next generation.
I need people to understand that there is no such thing as making it. That no matter how much money you stack, fame you achieve, or success you taste, there are going to be more struggles in your future, more drama to deal with, more obstacles placed in your path. The goal is not just to be successful. It's about learning how to sustain that success, a skill I had to learn the hard way. And you can still dominate each one if you follow several basic principles. Be fearless.
I think I have the same emotions everyone else does. I just have a way to suppress those feelings in different circumstances and situations. I can kind of adjust. A lot of the decisions are kind of like gut feelings. Like the music business and entertainment in general, there's no school for it.
Right.
You know, so you got to kind of instinctively make the right decisions. My power is me being in business situations and being the person with the least fear at the table. And that's because I weigh these things up against my biggest losses in my life. So, like the loss of my mom is the biggest thing that I've experienced. So, walking into a room, even at the worst possible scenario, it won't damage me to the point or hurt as much as that hurt it. I think the things you go through make you who you are. So I don't regret those things. I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today.
Know your value. One of the cornerstones of my sustained success is that I don't rush into deals. Even though I've become synonymous with getting paid, I never chase money. I evaluate every new venture based on its long-term potential, not on what the first check I get is going to look like.
You make investments in different things. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. More losses than wins, but when you do win, you win so big, it makes up for everything.
Do you see yourself becoming a billionaire one day?
Yes, but I'm not really focused on it because it takes some time.
The question was, do you see yourself doing it?
I can see myself continuing success. So at what rate? You know, I'm just not, like, that's not my focus right now. I felt like after you accomplish enough, I'm already a billionaire compared to where I come from. You know, I don't generally see things that I can't have. Like, it's an option. Like, when I look at home and exquisite living, it was just a choice. I could have had that instead of the home that I bought in Connecticut, or I could have had that car instead of the 3 cars that I decided to have. So it doesn't feel like it's necessary. And you can have 18 bedrooms and you're still only gonna sleep on 1 bed. You find that out after you have 18 bedrooms because the ambition will lead you towards wanting those, you know, the biggest possible things for yourself in life.
I mean, I asked you last time if you want to be a billionaire.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the financial outcomes. I want to continue success, but there's no specific mark. To be honest with you, if I'm sitting here with you a year from now, 2 years from now, and they're like, you did it, you're a billionaire, I'm gonna still be saying, yeah, but I got another idea.
Right.
I got a new idea, and it's what I think is representation of a person who's truly ambitious. Because ambition isn't a learned behavior, it's a part of your natural character, and you'll always find something to be passionate about, or a new goal, or a new... You see guys sell companies $5-6 billion and go, yeah, okay, now what's the next one?
I never wanted to be someone different. I wanted to be a better version of me. Like, to not have the restraints that I had. You know, and when you come up without finances, it seems like the biggest restraint. It makes you make that financial or money focus. Because, look, I try not to let things that affect me that I can't change.
Build a strong crew. You're only going to be as strong as the weakest person in your crew. That's why you have to be extremely conscious of who you have around you. Betrayal is never as far away as you'd like to believe. That's why it's imperative to find a balance between establishing trust and discipline in the people you work with and giving them the freedom to be themselves.
Well, you know what my grandfather told me? You don't get as far as the motherfuckers you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the fuck kind of information can he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation? Leave me the fuck alone, man. Y'all niggas.
No matter what group of people, whether it's your actual blood relatives or people that you've developed relationships, they get blinded by what you've done and they're consistently saying, look what you have, versus acknowledging what you've already done. When you're successful, there's a period that you have to work through. It's that cloud again. It comes back around and people say, yeah, it's cool, because you've had several hit records for quite some time. They go, yeah, it's cool. That new song, yeah, it's hot, but it's not hot as it was on Get Rich or Die Trying.
I think the things you go through make you who you are. Mm-hmm. And in my journey, like, there's certain things that I'm not really, I don't even let it into my system like that. I think depression's a luxury.
Wow.
Because where I'm from, you can't afford to be depressed. You got to pay the bill, right?
Right.
So you got to go to work. You got to get up. You got to go do what you got to do. You got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there.
Mm-hmm.
But they got responsibilities, so
Yes,
they go.
sir.
They feel uncomfortable while they're working, while they're doing what they got to do. Like, when these guys get in a slump and they just decide that they're not going to do anything, I'm like, where they do that at? You got a pack. You just decide not to come outside?
Yeah.
They're going to beat you. You're going to beat to death. Wait till you come out.
I've somehow ended up under circumstances where I've been up against the toughest things in the environment that I come out of before any success takes place. There's going to be people unhappy with the success that you have regardless.
4 qualities that make a real star. That's quality material, performance, appearance, and personality. A lot of the guys that are out there, some of them there by accident. Some of them just knew the right person, got the right deal, and they fell through the cracks, you know what I'm saying? And then you see there's really talented people out there that are waiting for their shot. They may not actually get it all the time. No matter how much you feel like you're prepared for something, it never happens on your time, like when you think you're ready, like it's supposed to happen. It always happens when it's supposed to happen. Because the period that you feel ready and people are not acknowledging the material the way you feel like they should because it's good, is the time that you actually develop skin thick enough to survive when it does work. The actual system wasn't prepared for me. You know, I thought I was ready in '97.
Right.
And I didn't have a major record company market and promote my project until 2003.
Right.
You know, so for that time period, I had to run on my own energy. You know, I had to convince myself that I'm gonna make it. You know, regardless of how people felt at that time. And what it does is it makes you feel like, well, it made me feel like there's gonna be points that people are gonna mistake my confidence for arrogance because they don't understand the process I went through and how much I had to believe in myself in order to make these things happen. I feel like you can will yourself into a good space. Like, things that are meant to happen will.
Can you talk a little bit about how your upbringing helped to become so successful in life? Because that must have had something to do with it.
From the beginning, I had to develop a strong enough belief in my idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty tough to do that without anything around to support the concept of it working. But I can kind of create this little tunnel that I'm going through that is definitely gonna work. Like if I'm working on a project and I don't believe it's gonna be a success, I can't do it. I can't keep working on this. I gotta do something different. I gotta get out of this and go try something else. And because I would say, like, I think you can speak those things into existence. Like you can put that in the universe that it's gonna be a success.
I don't care where you come from or what you look like. If you've created success, I want to learn from you. One of the secrets to getting whatever you want in life is creating the perception that you don't need a thing. That can be a difficult energy to project, especially when you're struggling. But committing to that perception will make you more attractive, professionally, personally, and even romantically. No one owes you anything, just as you don't owe anyone else. Once you accept that fundamental truth and accept that you control your journey, so many doors that seem closed are going to open up in front of you.
You know, you can really impact people. The dream and the vision was to, you know, start a label and start a music movement, a music brand. And then just thinking like, as a chess player, you know, assuming that we would have success in music, the next thing became, dang, what will we do next? Main, most important thing, number one, is you gotta get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And the way to do that is you have a plan. Because if you got a plan, it's not like just a pipe dream. You have a step-by-step list of things to do to get to your goal. If you don't have that, it's very hard to really have faith in what you're doing. Because soon as something pop up, it's gonna look like the end all. But if you got a game plan of everything you need to do, you know, one thing pop up, well, I still gotta do this, and that, so this ain't gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? Another thing pop up, well, shit, I accomplished this 2 things. Since my last obstacle, I only got 3 more things to do. Let me keep pushing, fuck it. Pretty soon you attain your goal, and then you create another one. But without a game plan, without a strong sense of faith in what you're doing, it's gonna be real hard to accomplish anything. Yeah, get the walls. Nah, you know what I'm saying? We used to have the studio set up here, you know what I mean? And just motivation on the wall, you know what I mean? We brainstorm, round table. A lot of times if we ain't at the studio, we ain't at the shop, we come on Matt, you know what I'm saying? You gotta all money in, you know, stay focused. Quitting is not an option. 6 O's make $1 million. Big money only. You know, talk about it, be about it. You know what I mean? How hard are you really going? Different things that you wake up to, you know what I mean? When you're on this marathon.
Outside hustling going on, whether it's the dude selling incense on the corner or Final Call, Nation of Islam, people standing on the corner selling bean pies.
Did you pick up on that entrepreneur atmosphere?
Yeah, later on, when I like traveled outside of my area and I saw that was unique to where we grew up, just people going outside setting up shop. So
doing what they have to do.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? So I used to try to go get a job early when I first came into like being a teenager. And when I started getting doors closed on me, I just was like, well, I'm gonna do like everybody else and I'm gonna pop my trunk. I saw examples of it in different categories and felt automatically when I got to the age of wanting to become self-made or support my own ambitions, you know that's the step.
Now, when you came in here today, you said you haven't smoked in 5 months.
I think anything in excess turned into a liability. And even for me, like, you know, I got an intense promo campaign. You know, I gotta be on camera, I gotta be on time, I gotta be, you know, I gotta be able to think sharp. You know, when it comes to like going out to the public and representing my product, I don't wanna be. And even in business, you know, you come in there smelling like weed, whether they say it or not, they hold it against you. They think they got a little edge on you if they don't smoke. I mean, it ain't even you're a criminal thing, it's that I think quicker than you. I'm more focused than you, I got more discipline than you. I don't use no drugs. I might drink some wine, you know what I'm saying, right now, but I don't mean I haven't in the past. Right now, it's more important to be focused.
So talk a little bit about yourself, man. What brings you up here, up and coming, and you know, how come you're not blinging and having all kind of crazy diamonds and all that? I guess you here to get your money right, huh?
All the time, I mean, you know, all that is cool for the image and all that, but all them is liabilities, you feel me? I'd rather invest in some real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, can you repeat that again, man? You're up and coming artist. What did you say you want to do?
I said invest in some assets as opposed to trick off my money on some liabilities like diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Cars that lose value soon as you drive them off the lot.
So you're trying to get land.
Exactly, homie. A real asset. Take care of my peoples, cause you know it look good, but at the end of the day, you losing value, homie. It ain't appreciating. It's depreciating.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to get that message? You know, I mean, one half you get guys that say they got to impress the females. Female ain't trying to talk to you unless you blinged out. On the other hand, you got other people feel like they got to show off to the homies and impress them with their riches. I mean, what do you think is how do we get that out of that mindset?
I mean, I feel like that's insecurity. Material things ain't nothing, you feel me? At the end of the day, it's who you is, you know? You wasn't born with it, you gonna die without it.
The combo you have with yourself when you outside of the opportunities, but you know your actions and your mentality are success, but the reality of your situation isn't.
Number one, you know, I just feel better, homie. I sleep better, you know what I mean? I got a level of like, I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I feel good about what I'm waking up doing and about my lifestyle. At one point, I wasn't proud of my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't content with what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't happy with that. So it was eating at me. Even though I'd be on the surface, cool and straight, deep down I knew that this wasn't the direction of what I need to be doing. now I wake up with the feeling that I'm going in the direction that I'm here for. It's not limited to music, that point of view. It's not just about making music, it's just about, you know, a mentality, in my opinion. Just, you know, how to take your lumps in life, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna take your L's, you're gonna have your ups and downs. So just a philosophy or a point of view on how to look at the journey. You know what I mean? You got where you at, you got where you're trying to be.
My advice would be define who you are and what you are and be clear on that, meditate on that, and then live and die by it. Can't break the rules, the fundamental rules. Be a man of your word. Do what you say you're gonna do. But I would say that, you know what I mean, you're gonna lay in the bed you make. You're not gonna get away with nothing in terms of the energy. You know what I mean? You might beat the camera or the police. They might not catch you for what you're doing, but the energy is always gonna return to you. So when you just living in this cycle of being negative all day and just putting out negativity and that's the only energy you putting out, it's gonna return to you in different form than you put it out in. So I would just say, you know, master your energy. Do your best to master your energy and what you put out, you know, and unless that's what you want, you know, because you entitled to whatever you want to create, whatever experience you want to create for yourself. But if you're tired of that shit, adjust the energy.
You know, I be juggling. You know what I'm saying? I juggle a lot. I play a lot of positions. You know what I mean? So, my mentality when I do start to be like, damn, this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, that's what it's supposed to feel like. If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness. That's, you know, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working toward. So I'm like, I just think about that. Like, this shit ain't supposed to feel, you know, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, you know, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it. And you catch some wisdom off of that. You know what I mean? Accepting the ups and downs of whatever game you commit yourself to and riding it out, you feel me? Because, you know, that's the reality of, you know, success or greatness, that it come with a roller coaster ride, you know? So I think that anybody could apply the marathon concept to what they do, if it's sports, if it's fashion, if it's music, if it's hustling, whatever, you're on a marathon, you know? So it's not limited to music, that point of view. It's not just about making music, it's just about, you know, a mentality, in my opinion. Just, you know, how to take your lumps in life, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna take your L's, you're gonna have your ups and downs. So just a philosophy or a point of view on how to look at the journey.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
No. If every time someone asks you a question, you try to say the right answer, your entire life is a test. And when did you have the most anxiety in grammar school and high school?
No question.
On test day.
No question.
So your entire life become this test. Well, no. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I can do anything. I ain't trying to say the right answer. I am just doing what I feel. My mama said trying is failing. There is no ifs, woulds, coulds, shoulds. It just is, and we just are.
You play tracks like Michael Jordan shoots free throws. Anybody does something that much and that long and is that good, it's gotta pay off. The main thing is getting to do something that you really love to do. How you were down to earth and everything, but you know you got a lot of confidence. Come off a little arrogant even though you're humble and everything. But it'd be important to remember that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing.
And this mentality should not be defeated.
Because it's about motivating the doers. And anyone that wants to sit around and talk shit, they're taking too much time talking shit about it instead of getting up off their ass and following their dreams. Because I'm here to follow my dreams, you know, and help other people follow their dreams and inspire people who are dreamers.
I think people focus too much on the past and focus too much on regret. I've heard of history class. I've never heard of a class that breaks down how you balance a checkbook or how you control your finances, which my father never taught me that. And I've never heard of a future class. So they keep us so focused on history that we start to believe that it actually repeats itself. And we become overly traditional And we can't advance as a race of beings. We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation. And when I mean simulation, this is what I mean by the simulation. Sorry, I know you guys wanted to clap, but everything I'm gonna say is gonna be amazing.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. And I'm Kanye West at age 36.
So do you think I come off too arrogant?
No, come on, just right. It's because it's what's inside. Because you can't be a star and not be a star. You gotta have some oomph about you. You don't want to just go saying, "Oh, I'm just really not all that, but thank you anyway." Nothing like that. I'm not saying come off like that. I think the way you handle yourself is really just perfect.
You know, if I see something, I see an opportunity, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're all gonna die one day.
Yeah, it's true.
So we live like that. Live like you could die tomorrow. You know, go for it. I say, I know how to make perfect, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to crack the pavement and make new grounds, you know, sonically and society, culturally. For me, you know, in my life and creativity, it's been challenging. You know, people who have, you know, issues with me as Kanye West, so they say, they classify, you know, my motivational speeches as like rants and things like this. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've reached a point in my life where my Truman Show boat has hit the painting. And I've got to a point that Michael Jackson did not break down. I have reached the glass ceiling. Do everything you got. Give everything you got. And, you know, our focus needs to be less about what our legacy is going to be or how we're going to control each other, but more how we can give to each other. But I was able to ascend to massive levels of heights and never stopped, right? Because of the foundation that my mother and my father and my grandfather laid through civil rights, what Michael Jackson did with music videos and the ground he broke. There would be no Kanye West if it wasn't for Michael Jackson. That allowed him to be that, right?
Yeah.
So now let's take like where there's